Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a brand new video. So today I'm joined with Eva. This is my manager. I thought today we would film a what would you say, influencer?
Yeah,
manager.
Yeah, maybe the common kind of questions and things that people want to know about being an influencer.
Yeah.
A manager, how it works, because I feel like a lot of people don't really
No, I mean, I don't really know, to be honest. She doesn't all for me, but that's why she's here. We literally have said we're going to film this for so long. And
we were meant
just
to.
never got around to it. So,
Yeah.
today's the day.
Chatting said pros and cons of a manager.
She's a bitch.
Joking. No, I'm joking. Do you want to explain how you managed to do it whilst you were working a 9 to 5?
It was hard. It was hard.
Yeah.
I feel like if you want to do it seriously, seriously, I'm getting more now than I ever got.
Really?
100%. Oh, because I didn't have time. And I didn't have you.
No,
seriously, that is actually why. You just have to find, if there's something you genuinely want to do, you just make it work. Now I look back, people used to say to me all the time, how do you find the time? And I just found the time, but now looking back, I don't know how I did it.
No, I don't know how you did it either, because I'm not being funny, you posted so often for someone that had a full-time job.
Yeah.
I know other people that do, I feel like it's easier with uni. It's a bit more flexible.
Yeah, 100%.
But if you've got a 9 to 5 job, especially in the winter, that must be
takes up
so
the whole day.
difficult.
Because you don't want to get up early.
Yeah.
And then at 5 o'clock you're
I know.
done, and then your weekend's your weekend. I don't know how I did it, to be fair.
Yeah.
But if it's something you want to do, you just make it work. But I don't know about uni, because obviously I never went to uni.
No, I feel like people that go to uni though, it is quite flexible. They might have lectures some days, they might not.
Yeah.
And unless you're doing a course where you're becoming a doctor, say, I think that's maybe more a 9 to 5. Some people's courses are probably more 9 to 5, but yeah, say if you're doing a business degree, in my
I feel like it goes quite well with uni.
It goes well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's stuff to do in your time that you're not at uni.
No, exactly. It's a hobby.
Whereas work, honestly, I don't know how to do it. If I went to work, I definitely wouldn't have managed.
No, that's, yeah.
I was just lucky that I could be on my phone literally 24/7. And my work were really flexible in terms of every hour we had to take 10-minute breaks, even though we're at home. So in that 10 minutes I could have just edited a video or anything.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, my content was really home vibes. I never had makeup on. I was in tracksuits every day. Whereas now it's more put together.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, it's not really, is it?
I know, but I feel like your style are more kind of
I'm just whatever. That's what I was saying to Liana. She was I feel like I always have to have makeup on, and
I feel like people
just make it work.
Yeah, I feel like especially now people are really wanting to see influencers that are more relatable.
100%.
People don't really want to see people living almost an unrealistic life, because especially with just the way that things are right now, money wise, people would rather probably see you in your house
doing nothing
or doing your washing or with your rabbits or your family.
Yeah, to be fair, I made a TikTok the other day doing my washing. I thought I can't post that, it's so embarrassing.
I know,
I was I got some new washing powder, guys, and it's really good. And I was I can't post that.
No, I literally follow TikTok cleaning accounts.
Do you?
I love that.
It was literally Tom's socks. I was this is Tom's socks before it goes in the wash.
No,
it came out like this. I was okay, I can't post that.
What, did it come out cleaner?
Yeah, that Vanish stuff.
Post it.
If you want to make it work, you'll make it work. But I actually don't know how I found the time, especially in the winter.
Yeah, I feel if you're trying to make it work, probably your weekends are probably your best bet.
Yeah, and that's the only other thing. I get up really early. So at the weekend, I would have it all done by 10 o'clock so that I could still enjoy the weekend.
Maybe bulk shoot content, if it's TikTok and you want to do TikTok hauls or get ready with me, spend your afternoon doing that on a Sunday afternoon, and then you'll have a video to post every day or something like that.
Yeah, or if you know you're going somewhere, just film and get ready with me, and then there's extra content.
True. Yeah.
How do you get paid? Is it monthly or just whenever you complete an ad?
So the way we do it is I just send you the money when we complete an ad. However, I know that if someone... Wait, that's between me and you though.
Yeah, that's how I wanted it. You did say, how do I want to do it?
Yeah, although a lot of agencies, if they've got a bigger roster of talent, they probably will send them a monthly wage at the end of the month. But also brands, a lot of brands don't pay straight away. It's typical 30 to 60 days invoice period. So that can be quite long, especially if they are,
and it's usually
late. Almost
it's very rare you get it on time.
And see when a brand pays immediately
it's
after.
It's a shock.
You're
it
like,
shouldn't
whoa.
be, because they've got the date, but like if it comes
I
in a couple
know.
of days, you're like,
I know.
oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we just agreed that that's what we do. I mean, I don't know in future if I have more.
That's the thing. If you were getting paid
Like if I had like it was consistent.
like so, like to the point where it was like you wouldn't know what was coming into
Yeah.
your account, that it was so
Like I was getting confused.
yeah. Or if I had like a severe amount of people
Yeah.
to manage, but I would also rather that it was like account and that you had the money. So
It's just easier, isn't it?
yeah.
But yeah, that's something that you'd have to speak to
Yeah, it depends
the
on
management
your
about. How did you know how much to charge for content? It's something that I struggled with.
Do you want to answer like from your perspective first?
Okay. I didn't have a clue, to be fair. I just reached out to so many other influencers to get like different opinions on things. But when I tell you, like, everybody has such different rates and such different views on it. But I did have obviously 2 managements before, which were charging completely different to what I then charged when I was on my own, and to now what I'm getting. And to now be with Eva, to be getting what I'm getting, looking back thinking like, for the past 2 years I could have been getting what I'm getting now. But I don't know, you just have, to be fair, what I did, I just said what I felt comfortable saying. And then it's always better to say higher, so then that if the brand offers lower, you can like negotiate in the middle. Like, don't ever undersell yourself. But also, I feel like the easiest thing to do is just say what you feel comfortable with saying.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Like, I'm so glad you have to say it, not me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realise how much money they can actually get paid.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like might like you said, like undersell themselves. So that's when it is kind of good to have a manager or someone advising you, not even a manager, but just to like have other people in the industry. Because I have like met people who they're like, oh, I got paid like £300 for something that someone else with the same following got paid £3,000 for. And that is the kind of money you're talking, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it is kind of...
But it's also dependent on the brand as well.
Yeah, completely dependent on the brand, and also dependent on how much budget they have that month. So for example, they're probably more likely to have budget in like November. They'd be happy to pay like maybe like £2,000 or something, that in January, February, they're paying like £600 for because of the time of year and the budgets they have available. So yeah, I think
it's hard to know. Everyone does different.
Yeah, I think a lot of influencers who are on their own do undercharge, but I do think that there's agencies that will go in really high, and if it's not just accepted straight away, they probably will go no.
Yeah,
which isn't really
the
right.
But also brands will try and pay as little as they can. So if you go in with a low rate, they're going to accept it. So you're better off
or they're
going in higher.
Even if you said like, oh, can we do £300, they'll go about like £250, whereas you could have gone in at like
500, and then they'd say 350.
Yeah, exactly. So and don't be scared as well to go higher, because I feel
because all they're going to do is say no, and that's the thing I had to sort of like, when I was on my own, get like my head around. Like, the worst thing they'll do is just say no. They're used to it. That's what their job is, and they're used to people going in saying, and this is how much I want.
I think people are scared of being ignored by their brand.
Yeah,
they're not really going to ignore you, and don't be scared to also chase them up and be like, hi, so what's happening here? So,
definitely just whatever you feel comfortable with,
yeah,
but definitely don't undersell yourself, because that's what I did. How did you get into being a manager?
To be honest, I have been kind of doing like socials myself a bit, mainly like for years on just like a gifting basis, and I kind of built some relationships with brands that way. So before I like actually worked in the industry, I was being gifted from PLT, Boohoo, like any company you can like standard company think of, just like post on Instagram, genuinely since like 2017, 2018.
That's actually mad, isn't it?
I know. Did you?
I didn't even do
really?
it. I started in 2020.
I should have like proper stuck at it. Maybe then I would be
You'd
an
have been
influencer.
like, yeah.
No, but so I think like that's kind of how I started it, and then lockdown happened. I started my own clothing brand, and then I applied to work at an agency as an intern. Yeah, and then it kind of all went from there. But like, to be completely honest with you, if you do want to be like a talent manager or like an influencer manager, like that's why you're watching this. Like, it's good to get experience like working for other people, but I think with the kind of job that is, and because it is like you create a relationship between like I would hate now for there to be someone that was like sort of like making decisions of like how many hours I put towards helping you, or like, do you know what I mean? So
yeah, like you don't work 9 to 5.
no.
Like sometimes
No.
I'll message her like 8 a.m. on a Sunday. I'm like,
No.
sorry to bother you.
I know
but like I don't think I could deal with. So like my other agencies were, they were like employed by the agency, and they were 9 to 5 Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
And I prefer. I mean, it's each
Some
their
people
own.
do work like that,
But like I do stuff in the evenings, and it's good to have Eva there to like answer me in the evening.
Yeah. But I also don't like. I would never want to work with like a massive group of people, because I like to have a kind of like one-to-one
That's more personal.
relationship. Yeah, for sure.
So we actually talk all day, every day.
Yeah, but also like if you are wanting to like work in the industry in general, like never do an unpaid internship, because they're making so much money off you, and you're not seeing any of it. Even if you're on a lower wage and you're making so much money for them, and you're not seeing any of it. So just
and you can get one at another agency without that.
But also take the experience, but like don't do it for too long. Yeah. That's basically my advice. Yeah.
That's good advice. I feel like I would do that job, to be fair, if I didn't get into this. It's the sort of job I'd want to do. Yeah. Like something in social media.
It's so weird.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is. But you know what? I think like, and we're sorry, this is totally off track, but I feel like even when we were saying this last night, like even when we're like at events or dinner, like things that we feel like are social, like just like
still work.
It's still work. We've been working since.
This is work.
Yeah, I know. So we've been working since 6:30 this morning.
Yes. But we haven't really stopped since like 4 a.m. yesterday, because I started vlogging at 4 a.m. yesterday morning.
So it's like, but I haven't.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's fun.
I would change it.
And that's the thing, like, it doesn't feel like work.
No.
And if it ever felt like work, that's when we'd like.
Yeah, it's important to not make it feel too much like work. Sometimes it has to.
How did you know you could trust your manager? Oh.
Yeah. What?
To be honest, I don't really know. I just knew. I feel like when you know.
Well, it did also help that I had managed like your friends before. Yeah. That's why.
Yeah, but I don't even think that would have.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like you just know what you're doing.
Do you feel like from talking to me, when you first did we FaceTime? Did we call?
No.
Or we just voice note? I kind of feel like I always feel like when I actually speak to someone, like I can send a message and be like, hey, do you want to sign with me? But I feel like from actually having a conversation, I feel like you can go, oh, I can trust her. She knows what she's talking about.
And we spoke before. Like I followed her before.
Yeah.
You gifted me that jumper that time.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's
like we've actually spoke for like 3 years. That's weird.
Well, that's also like a good thing about like if you want to get into the industry, like just kind of, I'm not saying try and be an influencer, because like I wouldn't even say I'm that, but just kind of try and have some kind of social presence.
Like I would never sign with someone that just doesn't give off the vibe. Like I feel like we're very similar.
Yeah.
In everything that we do, like very similar, and I feel like you've got to be on the same wavelength as your manager.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to like say to you, oh, I really want to do this, and you not really understand why or like how to get me into that.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like you're really in the industry, you know what you're doing.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like you know that I have the connections with the brands that you want to work with friends that work for those companies, and like. And
you're interested in the same things as me.
Yeah.
And if I said to you, oh, I want to do this, and if it was stupid, you'd be like,
maybe not. Maybe
Whereas some people are like, yeah, great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you know, like you just know, and also you can obviously ask people like in that agency like their opinion, but also you should never go off someone else's opinion, because their relationship with someone might be different.
Could be totally different. Yeah.
Yeah, like we get on so well. But you could be so different to some. If I could say to someone, yeah, oh my gosh, she's amazing, but you could be completely different to them.
Yeah, I totally get. Yeah.
And like we work the same.
Yeah.
So I feel like get advice from people, but at the same time,
don't like
you need to make your own decision. Like if you feel like you're gonna trust them, you trust them, and if you don't get that vibe, then don't bother, because I feel like it's important.
I feel like that coffee's hit my stomach.
You're gonna poo?
I've got really bad cramp.
Oh no. Do you need a break?
No, I'm actually fine. It's not hit like that part of my stomach yet. It's here right now, and it's gonna hit here, and then it's gonna hit here, and I'm gonna need to go to toilet. Sorry.
I can't believe that happens to you.
I have severe IBS.
These things happen,
keep
guys.
going if you like.
When working with brands, do they pay you before the content? No one's ever paid me before.
Not usually. Sometimes we'll pay half before. I was speaking to Emmy.
Really?
Yeah, my friend Emmy's like another talent manager. We like have
got a podcast.
Yeah,
if you guys want to, I'll put it in the
description. If you're interested in this kind of thing, you'll probably be interested in that. No, so she was saying she received half of a payment.
That's quite handy.
Before, I know. I think it was quite a high paid collab.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Sometimes, but like
again, it's just dependent
not common
on the
to
brand.
be honest. Right, so one of the questions there was like, how much do you earn a year,
yeah.
right? And to put like this into perspective, you actually cannot, like, you'd only be able to say how much you've earned in a year, like obviously once the year's done, and even once you've done all your like self-assessment, tax, like all of that, because you actually don't know what you're gonna get.
No. And even then I feel like it's still sometimes can be so inaccurate.
Yeah. And
because I genuinely have money coming in so randomly from random things like affiliate links.
I know.
I get paid that once a month. Some months it's like loads, some months I don't do any affiliate links, so it's nothing. Then obviously I get paid when I do my content.
Yeah.
Commission from TikTok, which I can withdraw like at any point.
Yeah. And for example, like one of your TikToks could go viral, say if it was like with like TikTok Shop, if like next week you could get a TikTok Shop video that gets like 2 million views and you could make like thousands in commission, and you wouldn't, like, you don't know what's going to happen, so it's just like,
yeah, like there's actually not an answer
on it, to be honest.
I feel like it's so annoying when people say that, but like,
I know, you can't.
I actually don't know, and I haven't done it full time for a year yet, so ask me this time next year and I'll let you know how much I earn.
Maybe in a safer shot at it. Or maybe she will.
That's the thing though, do you know what, I don't care, like I'm so open.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was like minted then it would change, but like it is interesting.
Yeah.
Like I'm not scared to like say about like how much I got paid for certain things.
Yeah, and I think it's actually really important to be like quite.
Well, even like you said, I was underselling myself, but no, I'd watched a million sale shot hits and no one had told me.
I know
how much they were getting paid.
Especially in the industry, like it's important for influencers to be like transparent with each other how much they got for something. Because I know people that have done shoots, right, and like fair enough, people have different rates, but I've heard of people getting like paid completely differently when they've done the same amount of work, and like that's fair enough, but like they also need to be aware, like so that they can argue, like. But even like creators, I know, that have more followers than me, that we've heard that they've got paid like half what I've got paid, even though their engagement is way better than mine. I think it just depends on the manager, to be fair. Pros and cons of managers. The con of having a manager is that they'll take a percentage of what you earn. A pro is that I wouldn't be getting what I'm getting if it wasn't for you. Yeah, I suppose. So like even with your fee, I'm still making more. Yeah, I get you. So I think it also depends how much a manager takes. Yeah, that's another thing. Some managers charge a lot. Very careful of. You need to be like very sure of how much someone's taking from you. Yeah. And that needs to be in the contract, exactly how much. Yeah. Because don't just agree to like a random like extra add-on fee that you don't know what it is, because you could actually, that's not actually an extra add-on fee. That when they're discussing it, they're likely to discuss a full price, and even if they're not, when a brand looks at a fee of how much they're paying, they are looking at how much. If someone charges an agency fee, they are like, that's still what they're paying. Yeah, it doesn't matter who they're paying it to. It's still the budget they're allocating to one person, so just be someone who's very transparent. Also, I hate when people always say like, oh, how much does your manager take? And I feel like at the end of the day, you're doing my work for me. You have to get paid somehow. Like, you actually have to think, I don't, other than like creating the content, you do everything. Even like if a brand reaches out to me, I don't even reply, like it goes straight to you. Yeah. You have to be paid somehow. But to also be really transparent, the standard is like 20%. Yeah. I wouldn't ever if someone's taking more than that. If someone's taking more than 25, like, yeah. Obviously it's relative, like the more you make, like the more they're going to take, but at the same time, you just need to be careful. Yeah. And just make sure. You need to make sure that who your manager is like honest. And I'm just so bad. Like, to be fair, no, I'm not even bad at like reaching out to brands and stuff. No. It is just the negotiating and stuff. Like, I'm so like, if I gave a rate to a brand and they came back with something even like 3 times lower, I'd have just been like, yeah, alright. Even sometimes with you, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. You're like, no, I'm going back, and I'm like, no, it's you're fine. Like, no, I'll do it for that. I don't mind. No, I don't like like shit. Yeah. Because I just do it for free as well. Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm getting better at that though. Yeah, I think the problem is with a lot of brands as well is so many people accept free work. Yeah. That they don't feel like they have to pay. And I wish I said no more. But then the thing is that I'm just so grateful for the staff. Like, I still am just like, what the hell? Like, it is a crazy concept. To think I'm going to turn something down I know.
because I'm not being paid for it. Like, I'm like, oh my God.
And
I think
also-
it does depend on the brand.
Yeah,
if it's a brand I genuinely love and like would spend money on,
Mhm.
then obviously I'm going to accept it for free.
Yeah.
But if it's a brand that like, obviously I would only work with brands that like I do genuinely like, but I don't know, like a brand that's new to me or I don't know, it just depends.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Also depends on what they're asking.
Yeah, what they're asking for in return. If they're like, so we'll send you this one thing and they need to reel, you need to post, you need to do a TikTok as well, and some stories, and send us like the content for us to use. You're like,
and it also depends on the product.
Yeah.
Like having to do an Instagram post for like something completely random.
Something
it's like,
stupid.
could do a TikTok talking about it.
I know.
The easiest thing to do is YouTube integrations.
Mm-hmm.
That's the easiest thing to do.
They pay the most. YouTube's the highest paid platform, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Which is random.
I know.
You'd think TikTok would be.
It is becoming more TikTok, I think. But at the same time, I feel like with YouTube, you do have like the kind of.
I think it's more personal. People on YouTube would believe what I'm saying more.
You have your like your subscribers who are like actively watching your videos like all the time.
Definitely.
And are interested in your life and your opinion. So.
Yeah.
Well, like
a year ago,
what's
it would have all
cons
been
from
cons.
like not from me, but like management you've had in the past.
Communication. When there was like a lot of talent, you don't have that like one-to-one like relationship. Like I didn't know anything about my manager. Even like with that agency, like there was more than one manager. So everybody that I was like with, we all had different people. Like it was all, I don't know. I just.
Yeah, if you're working for a big company, that's going to be the case.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot of people, but I think it all comes down to like how the company like deal and like sort their staff.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Like we speak all day, but not even just about like.
Yeah.
We just speak about anything.
Yeah.
Whereas like my other management didn't know anything about me.
But I feel like that's also good because I feel like as an influencer, it can be sort of like lonely.
Mhm.
Like you've
100%.
obviously got friends in the industry, but like you don't speak to them every single day.
Yeah, and I feel like before, because they were obviously dealing with all my emails, but also not really speaking to me. I genuinely was just like, what am I doing?
What's
Whereas
happening?
you're dealing with my emails, but I don't really even notice that because we talk all the time.
Yeah,
like I'm not
I
missing
tell
anything.
you like what's being said.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
I don't have to say to you like,
Has this?
oh, so what's been going on today?
Yeah.
Like when it comes in, you tell me straight away.
Yeah.
Whereas before, it just depends again.
And it's usually happens when a company has too many people to deal with and not enough staff.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
but
and it's not even
personally,
staff.
I don't really have any cons because I love it, and I don't actually know what I'd do if I didn't have it anymore.
Oh, that makes me happy.
No, it's actually good.
I'm always like, if I piss you off, tell me. I literally was in the car with Leanna today and I was like,
Yeah, but what? Because you're supposed to piss me off.
I don't know if there's something that you're like, you didn't do that fast enough.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you're working, like.
I know, but like at the end of the day, like, or like if there's something that would really stand out. Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, right? She wouldn't get paid if it wasn't for me. So like.
Oh yeah, like I have to like
just sit and think, well, obviously she's gonna try and get me work.
Yeah, because then I get.
Otherwise she's not getting paid. So that's why you have to have that trust, though.
Yeah.
Whereas with the bigger agencies, they just are sort of like at the bottom because it was like they had bigger creators that were making them thousands. My £300 here and there was just. But that's irrelevant.
Also,
do you know what I mean?
That's also why I feel like they probably didn't negotiate as much as they should have, which is silly.
Yeah.
They spent the time negotiating.
They
would have been able to sort it. Also, if they do spend the time negotiating like your fees with the brand will then understand what you're comfortable with being paid, and then it can become like a recurring thing. But if the agency just stops replying and goes like, nah, then, and I think that's probably been the case. Like knowing who you've dealt with in the past has probably been the case.
Yeah, so definitely just. Do your research. What's the point in a manager?
I feel like I've kind of answered that.
Do you think?
Do you think you have? Develop relationships with brands on your behalf. To deal with your admin, for example, invoices, because you don't have to invoice anything. I just send it all to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why they take the 20%, by the way, because genuinely, like, I have to do none of that. Yeah. I create the content, and you even send it to the brands. Yeah,
exactly. So it's basically just dealing with all the communication with brands, and also like. Just knowing how to communicate, because I think, like,
that's a skill. Yeah. Like you've learnt that through work, whereas I've not had that.
Yeah,
I know how to make a TikTok, but you've learnt how to communicate.
Yeah, and also if someone is also managing like a kind of group of people, it can also bring in more opportunities for you. For like, do you know what I mean? Like, a brand comes in for Liana, and then they're like, actually, do you have any more talent that we can work with? Then you both end up working with them. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's
not necessarily in the exact same campaign, but like, do you know what I mean?
Do you ever feel underpaid by brands?
Oh, brands totally do underpay.
Yeah.
Like, some brands, it's like, wow, their budget is massive. That's insane that they would pay that much for a story.
Do you know what's weird though? Like, we say like you feel underpaid, but the money in this industry is wild. Like, when I actually do sit there and think like what I can get for what I'm doing, sometimes I am like,
for something that's like, that'll take you 10 minutes to film and 10 minutes to edit on your phone.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
Disgusting.
It is absolutely crazy.
But you know what it is though? Like, see, when you think of like the old school marketing methods of like putting up a billboard, that is expensive, and they're not even targeting a particular audience. Whereas working with influencers, you are actually dealing with a targeted audience. Like, you know that you're going to be reaching this many people.
Yeah, you feel underpaid because you know the budgets that they have and what they could be paying you, but at the same time, it's a crazy amount of money for what you're doing
compared to like what people get.
So you have to just, again, depend on the brand. Whatever you feel is right. Like, don't ever feel underpaid.
It's all relative, if that makes sense. Yeah.
100%. Plans for this year?
Oh.
End on a good one. Do we have any plans? Not really. Just have fun.
Yeah,
we want a
like
trip.
Just to have fun. Yeah, we're gonna sort one away somewhere, hopefully.
And I want to get my teeth done.
Oh yeah. I've not had my Invisalign in all day. My dentist doesn't watch this. Yeah, just to keep building. I think
more people for you.
Yeah, I think especially in business terms, like, it's so important. I was speaking to the photographer today about this. It's so important not to chuck yourself in the deep end. You need to. It's like you need to take the right steps so that you're building like a business in the right way. Like, you'll probably even know this from like your clothing business. Like, it's so important to do things properly.
Don't rush it.
And don't rush it, and don't just go, I'm gonna sign all these people, I'm gonna do all these things, and then you don't actually have your actual like business plan set up. It's just like, that's when you lose control, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because if you didn't know, when did you go self-employed? September. And I went November. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay, we're here now.
We're here.
Yeah.
But it's still new to both of us.
Yeah,
definitely. So it literally is just taking every day as it comes, seeing what happens. But we do want to go on a trip.
Yeah. I can't even think. Like, there's nothing.
I feel like we're just
crazy,
like.
Yeah. Hopefully there will be something like really cool that we can do. But it's
that's
only
the
January.
thing with this though. You don't know. Like,
I know.
We could get an email tomorrow and be like,
I know.
Oh my god.
I know.
But also in December we could be sat here like, oh.
Yeah, that's unlikely.
What have we done?
Yeah. I know.
But it's hard. Like, there's things we'd want to do, but we just have to see what happens.
Need to see.
Hope you've enjoyed. Fingers crossed we answered everything that you wanted to know. If not, then just leave it below and send it to Emily.
Yeah.
She can give you a little answer.
Yeah, send me a message. If you're an influencer that wants managed, hit me up.
We'll see you. Oh, you won't be in my next video.
No.
See you in a few months.
Start in March.
Oh yeah, see you in March. Yeah. We're gonna do a little birthday night out. Whoop whoop. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
Bye.
Ciao. You have to say ciao.
Ciao. I know Italian actually.
Do you?
Kind of.